How to diet for flat stomach. Welcome to In Health and Beauty channel. Please don't forget to subscribe in our channel and hit the bell button to get notified as soon as we upload new videos. Getting flat stomach is a matter of concern for many people, and it is very important. It is known that the abdominal area is one of the most important areas. It highlights the beauty of the body for both men and women. Usually, any clear protrusion in this area leads likely to an unpopular shape of the body, which leads to dissatisfaction and loss of confidence. But, if you are one of those who have a prominent abdomen and want to get rid of it, here are a set of steps and tips to follow to reach the required ideal result. Click the link in the description below to get much more information. Before going deeply in getting flat stomach, we should mention that many people neglect food type. Most of the people think the exercise is sufficient, but the opposite is true. The quality of food is much more important than exercise, and it is enough to get a flat stomach without resorting to exercise. This must be accompanied by some patience. Patience is the key to the success of anything. Firstly, you should completely stay away from any type of sugars and carbohydrates such as bread and white rice for a specific period. The reason is sugars and carbohydrates raise insulin resistance in the body, which leads to increased fat absorption and increasing a permanent feeling of hunger. As well as, the stomach size increases to accommodate a large quantity of food, and continue to increase its size and capacity. Therefore, maintaining an appropriate quality of food will lead to a decrease in insulin resistance, decreasing the constant feeling of hunger, and contract the size of the stomach, which helps a lot to reach the desired results. Here is the ideal way to follow this diet. Hit the like button if you like our content. Breakfast. Breakfast divides into two parts. Eat 1 or 2 types of fruits rich in liquids and natural sugars, such as oranges, kiwis, or any fruit. Pay attention that there are no more than 2 types and that the quantity is not exaggerated. That preferably in the early morning hours. And the second step for getting flat stomach is to eat the daily breakfast with a type of vegetables, after 30 to 60 minutes of the first meal of fruits. And remember that not to eat complex carbohydrates and sugars. So, you can eat eggs or dairy and cheese, even if it is full fat, and preferably full fat to avoid not feeling of hunger later on. You can eat legumes and olives, and there are many varieties available. And here is a very important note, which is to change the type of morning fruit every day and try not to repeat the same type for 2 consecutive days. Lunch. Lunch should be very rich in important nutrients such as proteins and vitamins. It is preferable to eat red meat, chicken or fish almost daily with vegetables. Stay away from bread and sugars. It is worth noting the need to eat the natural fats, because of their important role in feeling full and their great benefits. The natural fats are found in olive oil, meat fat, natural animal butter and cheeses. Note that eating it in reasonable quantities, and pay attention that the lunch meal should be fatty enough, and that you should stop eating before you feel full. The feeling of fullness will begin to appear 20 minutes after you stop eating. As for the allowed carbohydrates, they will be oats by placing a small amount in the soup, or unhulled wheat in an amount not exceeding 100 grams. Or brown rice in an amount not exceeding 100 grams as well, noting that you should not eat carbohydrates more than twice per week. Dinner. For getting flat stomach, dinner will be one of the types of fruits that were eaten in the morning, and there is nothing wrong with cheese, eggs and dairy products, but in smaller quantities. Dinner must be early, at 7 p.m. at the latest. What if a person feels very hungry between meals or at night? Of course, this is very possible, especially in the early days, and this matter should not be ignored. Here you must eat any kind of nuts, cashews and peanuts, and the quantity will be the size of a fist. What will happen in the first days? The body begins to get rid of the excess fluids inside it, and the weight will begin to drop significantly, then this drop in weight will begin to stop and move to the phase of gradual fat burning. Person begins to feel comfortable, physically and psychologically, and continues to be active. As we mentioned earlier, patience in the early days is very important for the transition to the stage of getting used to. Now, we know how to get a flat stomach and ideal body. So, let us speak about physical exercise. Excessive exercise with diet leads to an intense feeling of hunger. Thus corrupts the diet and corrupts body balance. The intense exercise will be after flattening the stomach. The big mistake that many people make is the intense and stressful exercise in the phase of getting rid of fat. So, they think that this helps in burning fat and neglect that it also contributes significantly to increase feeling of extreme hunger, the thing that forced to eat large quantities of food that have much more calories than what was burned during exercise. Don't forget to subscribe in our channel, and hit the bell button to get notified as soon as we upload new videos. Therefore, we recommend walking 4 or 5 times a week for only half an hour until you reach the stage of a flat stomach. So, if there is no way for walking, then there is nothing wrong with this, as the stage of exercise will come at a later time to reach the beautiful view. Then we can go on and start exercising. Is it healthy to have 1 day a week to eat freely? In fact, in this type of diet it is not recommended taking a day to eat freely on a weekly basis, especially in the first month. The free day can be taken every 2 weeks. So, once the stomach begins to flatten, you can start taking a free day once a week. The reason for this is that the stomach during the diet shrinks to become sufficient for a simple amount of food. So, the person's small meal becomes a satiating meal, and this continues permanently. Unlike other types of diets whose person returns to greater than his previous weight. Effect of sleep on the success of the diet. The sleep system is one of the most important factors contributing to the success of this system, which is the need to wake up early every day and sleep early as well. Many of those who followed this system did not survive to reach the desired results, and some of them did not succeed at all until they organized their sleep as was mentioned. Can we eating sweets and carbohydrates back after this diet? All it takes to get the results is a little patience and endurance. We know that sugars are delicious and irresistible, and this is very self-evident. Everyone loves sweets. But, once the mentioned diet completes, we get the perfect body and flat stomach. We can eat sweets once a week and enjoy them without significantly affecting the insulin resistance in the body. Once a week on a small stomach, it means reasonable amounts, not raising insulin resistance, maintaining an ideal body, self-confidence, healthy and ideal life. Finally, now is the time to start it, and always remember that is tiring for a little while to stay beautiful and satisfied for our whole life. Click the link in the description below to get much more information. Hit the like button if you like our content.